Welcome to another episode of the Love Not Fear podcast. Edward picked a topic today called stop versus stopping, which is confusing me a little bit. So,
Yeah.
Edward, could you please
Yeah.
elaborate why you picked that?
Okay. I'd like to take a moment to reflect on that, because is it stopping maybe a habit that you can stop and take a view on your actions and zoom out sometimes, because people stop things that are good for them because they're discouraged or distracted or looking at the speed of progress instead of the small steps. So, you know what I'm aiming at?
So
Is
basically,
it possible
finding
to
reasons
stop
like
the stopping?
to persevere, like basically like kind of
Yeah.
like figuring out like what is.
How would you stop the process of stopping?
I mean, there's also of course there's good stopping, like stopping things that are not serving you.
Sure.
But I guess the question that you're asking is, how do I persevere on things that I know are good for me or that
Yeah.
are in line with what I want?
It's also about bringing ideas and things you want to work on, and yeah, to really kick them off and build a habit around them. That's one thing. And
Hmm.
I also like to, I'm giving it away where I want to go, because I also want to talk about zooming out on progress. That often let's from a personal point of view. When I don't zoom out and I'm frustrated and this doesn't work, or I'm not aligned anymore of why I started something in the first place, then it's quite easy to say, okay, this doesn't work. But stopping bad habits and stopping things that clearly don't work or things you cannot control makes perfect sense. But I'm just interested in how do you what's your take on this topic?
Yeah. So one thing is knowing your why. I think is really important. Kind of when you're setting out the goal that you want to pursue,
Yeah,
like knowing it's in line with your mission, vision, and values. This is why I'm such a nerd when it comes to the
yeah,
importance of like having this in your life, really figuring out what you want. And whenever you do something, it should be in line with, the should be a tactic that helps you to get to the goal that you want to get to. So, and if you have a really strong why, for example, I want to have $1 million, like, that's not a really strong why. But if I want $1 million so I can pay off my parents' home, or I can feed 1 million people, or
yeah.
whatever it is, then it becomes like a much stronger emotional charged why versus just a number
We,
in the
we,
bank
we
account.
spoke about this because what happens in your head, you start on a path and taking small steps. You build the path towards that goal. And
Mhm.
if it's just a number or something that is out there, your mind doesn't build the bridge or the road to go there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I also think it's important to um, continuously stick to it. I think we talked about this before. If you don't feel like running, just like still put on your shoes and run a little bit, so you can like still make incremental progress and you
yeah,
stay on the ball.
yeah,
Like you do not let the habit die.
yeah.
And in my businesses, we also like to kind of like write down when we start a new project. Break it down to smaller chunks. I think it's really important that you can have
Hmm.
like smaller milestones that you can see progress, uh,
Yeah,
and that you also define like why do we want to do this and what does done look like,
yeah.
kind of thing.
Oh,
Also, what I like to define
the
is like
DOD, the definition of
of
done.
done.
Yeah,
Yes.
love it.
What I also like to have is good, better, best. Like good outcome would be this,
Yeah,
better outcome would be that, and best outcome would
I
be this, to kind of like predefine like what does the end result look like, and then
I love
really
it.
to work backwards from it.
That's a new one for me. The definition of done I knew, but good, better, best. Well, give it a thought.
For example,
Yeah,
I'm running a half marathon in
yeah,
October 1st. I'm training for this right now. So the good is I'm completing the marathon, running the entire time, don't have any cramps or whatever. I can basically complete, right.
yeah.
This is good. Better is I completed under 2.5 hours, and best is I completed under 2 hours. So I've kind of like set this thing. I also love doing this with my teams. So
Yeah.
we know like what's the stretch goal, what's like the minimum. Like if we don't achieve this, then it was kind of like a loss.
Okay.
And
Since we're into one-liners, the definition of done and good, better, best, I have another one for you. It's we're talking about stop versus stopping. It has to do with three S's. It's slowing down, and then seek silence, and then simplify. And yeah, if you have a complex problem or you have a great idea, this helps me sort it because I'm bombarded with ideas all every day, and in order to hold on to the good ones, I started implementing this. So it's like, okay, wait a minute, slow down, slow down. What is this? What is it? So I can take the topic, I walk around it, and I zoom into it without all the noise behind it. So what's the key element that I'm enthusiastic about? And then how can I make it simple? If I cannot simplify it, it's probably not a good idea, and it probably will not come to execution.
yeah, simplification is so important. It's one of our core values. I don't know. I think Michelangelo or Einstein said, "Simplicity is the highest form of
Hmm.
sophistication."
Yeah,
Every intelligent fool can make things bigger, more
yeah,
violent, and more
yeah.
complex. It takes a touch of genius to go the other way.
Keep it
Uh,
simple, stupid. Yeah,
yes.
yes. No, I'm an entrepreneur in lighting, and design is a large part of my life. And good design, in a good design, there's nothing else you can take away
Take
anymore.
away. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Good.
You should look at my bike. There's literally not one thing that you can take away. It's just a frame, handlebar, and two wheels. That's it. I love it
And
because of that. Yeah.
the brake where you push the pedals back, so you don't
Yep.
even have a front brake. Yeah.
No, 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 no. That's I have yeah, my old model, the same model. The company went broke, by the way. I'm in deep shit because if now something happens with that bike, I'm in trouble. But let's keep on topic. Okay, let me tell you a story about a person I had the great privilege to meet a couple of years ago when we celebrated 20 years of entrepreneurs organization in the Netherlands. There was an Olympic I think she was even a gold medalist in snowboarding. Her name was Bibian Mentel. She fought cancer over a decade and never gave up. I mean, she is so inspirational. She even at one point she had to have an amputation, and she was so determined to make something out of her. She won gold medal again
Wow.
in in the Paralympics, and dedicating her whole life into being an inspiration and to motivate kids with similar disease to see what they can do. If you're ever stuck in a moment and you think you can't go anymore, look up Bibian Mentel, and yeah,
Yeah, it's
when
great example for not stopping, but just like continuing to go and still making it
yeah,
work.
yeah, that's yeah, and after she died, the amount of people that showed gratitude for what role she played in her life, that was really overwhelming. So yeah, sometimes it's just maybe it's good sometimes to even zoom out and think of your legacy yeah. But you mentioned first step would be define your true values, your core values. Yeah. And so that makes it easier to determine what to stop and what to
Yes,
not to
does
stop.
does it really serve me to get to the point that I want to get to? And I also like to define your mission and vision for you yourself, mind, body, spirit, you
Yeah,
as the professional, and you as the family person.
yeah.
To define how do I want to show up there, and what do I want to achieve, and what are my goals basically that really matter to me.
Let's talk about a little bit about finding these core values, because are these set in stone? Do you change yours once in a while?
I've added to them. One easy example, for example, in one of my businesses, we have a lot of Filipino employees, and they're doing a phenomenal job, but they do what you tell them to do, and
Yeah.
they have some fear around showing initiative. So we added initiative as one of our core values, so we can push them to take more initiative, and to take more ownership, and to roll with things. So I think it's cool to add core values for things that you want to implement or that you want to have in your life, so you can hold yourself accountable to that. I have not removed one yet. I guess if one really becomes so ingrained that we don't have to talk about it anymore, that I do not need to be reminded of it, then we could take it away. But
Uh, of course, company values are quite similar to your own core values. Otherwise, the company won't
this,
work, I guess.
correct,
But
correct.
there is a difference. I think it's perfectly okay if you have some core values that you don't share with other people yet, that they might be in a process of working on. When I did the managing happiness, which we will rebrand to love not fear, of course, there were some elements that really resonated with me, but there was definitely, I felt I should make more progress in that area. So are they black and white for you?
And I mean, if the right reason comes along, there's always some gray area, but ideally it's black and white. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I want to
Well,
stand for. I don't want to.
there's this one tool when you go over a big set of core values and you just slice them down. You just eliminate, and you end up with 6 or 7. That's a great exercise. Maybe we can put the link to that app in the show notes. Yeah.
Actually, I think I talked to Anya to create lovenotfear.com/core values, where we have a chat GPT script that asks you a bunch of questions to make it easier for you to define your core values. Check that out. I think this could be interesting for you.
Okay. Are you happy with this? Shall we leave it at this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess call to action again is define your core values. Go to
Yeah.
lovenotfear.com/core values and
Okay.
define your core values and share them with us.
Yeah. Please do. See you next time. Bye.